Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. I'd like to share some information with you because last night on May 28th, 2014, NBC interviewed Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden is known as an NSA, CIA government whistleblower. Most people in America are quite familiar with it. And people are calling Mr. Snowden a traitor. They're calling him everything negative they possibly can. However, I've referred to Edward Snowden as an angel. Now, as Edward Snowden was interviewed last night, I listened to his statements, and I couldn't find anything wrong with what he said. And in fact, what he said gave legitimacy to fairness and to justice and to fair play. And I am so glad that this particular gentleman was there doing his time to get the information that he had and was able and willing to share it with the American public. It was a great benefit for many people, even though others are so upset about it. And after the fact, after the interview on the 29th, the morning, NBC had Matt Lauer interviewing a couple of people, and they always got two or three commentators that come on the show. One is a lawyer, I'm not going to call her name. One is a talk show person. The other is a doctor. And so they refer to these three people about what Edward Snowden said. Now, according to the lawyer, she says they were talking about what Snowden had said and how it was so important to the American people. And the lawyer was indicating it was a criminal act. And she was indicating that ice water, ice is necessary. That is in the water. But that Snowden was still a criminal. Doesn't matter what he did, he committed a crime. And he didn't bite his tongue about that. He said there are some times that in order to do right, you have to break a law because laws are written sometimes to protect evil. And so, for this, he justified his action. And but the lawyer, that her comment was that, and just by her gesture, she indicated that this dude did wrong. And the talk show person, he was just out adamant that this guy was no good. He had betrayed the country, and he was the lowest life. And he even made the statement that he himself, he's doing no wrong. He didn't care about the camera being on him. Then the lawyer said, well, she thinks that people should have some privacy. If he wants the camera on him all day and all that kind of stuff, that's his business. But she felt that people should have some privacy. And this guy was he began to try to state that the NSA was not doing 3 million checks on phones or things like that, and they are looking for people at maybe 700 calls going to a certain location in a foreign country. That's what they were pursuing. But now he's just a talk show host. Now Edward Snowden was in the middle of this stuff, and Edward Snowden says that you can pick up your telephone and the NSA can turn it on. They can turn it into a microphone. They can turn it into a camera. They can take your computer, and every time you push a snap, they got the same snap. They can do analytical stuff to try to even construct how an individual thinks. Now, I'd rather listen to Edward Snowden, who was in the mix, than some talk show host who was ready to put a chip inside him so he won't be lost. Well, anyway, and then the doctor, she tried to give a little reprieve. Edward Snowden is kind of young, so she was saying there's people who are young who are not quite familiar with how strategic you have to be dealing with certain issues. And she thought maybe that this could have happened to Snowden. She wasn't so harsh. She tried to just say he was young. But in essence, as I look at these comments, I see the lawyer, oh yeah, she was justifying law. She's a lawyer. She has to justify law. And plus, all three of these people got rents. They got bills that got to be paid, and they're on TV every day talking. So in order to be on TV talking, you got to say the talking points that the TV won't say it. or should I say the people who own the TV station who are connected with the New World Order won't see it. And so they were doing that. I still think the lawyer, though, was representing Lucifer. The little talk show host, he was darn sure talking against for the New World Order. And the doctor, they all three were. However, this is one criminal that I thank God for. This criminal is in good company. Company with Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Christ. These guys who saw something that was wrong and brought the light to it. These are the kind of people that we need in our world today. People who see something wrong, bring the light to it, so we the people can have a choice. Go for it or not. But if you don't tell us, then we are being deceived. If you tell us, then we don't do anything about it, then it's on us. Well, I remember how some people can think and speak out for violations of human rights and justify them. What you really have is people who are saying that the CIA and NSA, some of these forces, in order to do their job, they lie, cheat, steal, and kill. Now, these are adjectives, ladies and gentlemen, that describe Satan to the fullest. Lying, that's the devil, Lucifer. Cheating, the devil, Lucifer. Stealing, the devil. Killing, the devil. These are all devil tactics. So when we say we're trying to protect our government, when we're trying to protect ourselves within the system, why do we have to use the devil? But they say enemy ain't necessary. Use the devil. The devil protects us. Well, I can understand the devil protects you because you're doing the devil's work every day. You see, there's something called fairness. There's something called justice. There's something called do unto others as you'd have others to do unto you. Those are the designs that are to protect you. Treat people right. But nobody's actually voicing, giving opinions, saying, let us as Americans, let us as citizens of America demand that our government treat people as we want to be treated. And if we're not, then we can stand up and do something about it. But we don't just try to go out there lying, cheating, stealing ahead of the game. So if anybody do something, we already got the information on it. You know that's Satan. But those are the kinds of things we're dealing with today. I heard Obama state that we should be more transparent, and if need be, the military can be used to inform the public. Well, he was talking to the Naval Academy. He was talking about some of the things that goes on in government that needs transparency, and if people don't trust the government, then perhaps the military should inform the people, entrust with the military to inform the people about things that the people should know. That sounds like to me about setting up the military to take over the country. I don't think you've ever said that. The military. We can't trust the president. We can't go trust Congress. What the hell make you think we're going to trust the military? The military industrial complex. What makes you think we're going to trust them? Well, anyway, Secretary of State Kerry, gentleman came out of Vietnam, back to the country talking much noise, pissed off about everything. And he wants to condemn Snowden for doing what Snowden felt he had to do. Well, this guy talks about patriotism. Well, patriotism. Snowden says he's a patriot. Dr. King broke the laws in order to give righteousness a stance, but he was a patriot. So was Malcolm X. So was Gandhi. So were Lincoln. So were the Kennedy brothers. Now, they are saying that Mr. Snowden if he's a patriot, come back home. Don't be over there. Well, look, Mr. Snowden's bill was to tell the American people what was going on. And if it got out to the world, it got out to the world. But his job was that. Now, he knew that he was not safe in this country. He knows the kind of country that he's living in. He knows he's living in a country that's ruled by Satan. If we were not living in a country that's ruled by the devil, Martin Luther King wouldn't have been killed. Malcolm X wouldn't have been killed. Robert F. Kennedy wouldn't have been killed. John F. Kennedy wouldn't have been killed. Abraham Lincoln would not have been killed. These guys who stood up. Oh yes, there's some people who didn't run because they had nowhere to go or the way to go. Fortunately, Mr. Snowden did. So he didn't have to just come here and let be killed. We all know this country would throw that man in prison. We know that this country would have that man killed. Why? Because this country don't give a damn about people. All they want to do is to do their evil. Now, I want to ask you one question, and you tell me what you think. You get a system, and you say you want to control the people of the system. Now, you know in order to control them, you've got to divide them. You can't have the people on the same page because they're not going to let you get away with that. So what do you do to divide them? Well, one thing you can do is create jobs. Get people busy, have them doing something. But don't create jobs for everybody. Create jobs for some. And those that got jobs are going to speak for you because you're supporting them. Those that don't have jobs are going to be against you. But now you got the people split. You got people at odds. What are they at odds about? They're at odds because some got a job and they think it's the greatest they can have. Why? Oh, you did it for me. Others don't have a job. These folks are going to find an excuse. This is why you don't have a job. You're lazy. You need to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Get some more education. But when the sun goes down, the people are divided, and the evil ones control. Now, I'm not going to try to say all of this stuff right now because I really got to go, and I only got a few minutes. But one last thing I want to say to you that makes me sick. Over in the East, Middle East, in Pakistan, I believe, there was a young lady who was stoned to death by her family and others who would participate because she married her lover. She was 5 or 8 months pregnant. She married her lover, but her family had chosen someone else, and since she didn't do it, they killed her. Now, that is Satan. That is Satan from the pit of hell. God has nothing to do with it. Allah has nothing to do with that. That has nothing but the devil, the straight up devil, killing person because you. Oh Lord, I don't even want to say any more about that. I have made up my mind that the government does wrong. The whistleblower exposes it. The people get angry with the messenger and ignore the message. Why? The people are no longer human. I am convinced that people who go along with systems, this system and other systems of the world, they do so because they are no longer human. They have become possessed by demons. You see, if they were human, they would care about others other than just themselves. And if you care about others, then you would do things to protect others as you would be protected. You would look out for them. But when you don't care, when you want to kill them because they don't agree with you, you want to kill them and slaughter, it's because you're possessed by demons. Now, this was not well put together for any particular situation except to give you some information and my opinion on how I feel about the information that I'm sharing with you. And I want to thank you so very much for giving me this time. And I'll see you probably tonight because I always got something to say. Until then, this is Ed Marcus saying bye-bye.